Hey, everybody, we've got Tatiana here with us for our Mortgage Minute.
Hey, Tatiana.
Hello, happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Make it happy. Give us good news.
Yes.
I will try. All right, well, not with my first slide. though.
No.
So this week rates, they went up slightly. We see 7.23%. The National Association of Realtors does expect rates to be steady in the 6 range until the end of the year, but it will take a lot of ups and downs to arrive there ultimately. And the Fed has a firm 2% inflation rate goal. And with that favorable economic reports on the job market, it's unlikely that they will cut rates until the goal came more of reality. And the latest announcements from Fed kept rates steady again, signaling things are on the right track. And hopefully home buyers may have a more favorable market in 2024. So with the strong economic data has pushed back expectations of when mortgage rates will drop. But the experts still believe that they will go down this year. We just probably won't see them drop as soon as many actually anticipated. And the analyst with Fannie Mae and the Mortgage Bankers Association, MBA, both project that rates will drop going into 2024 and throughout the next year. Fannie Mae economists expect rates to drop more quickly, falling below 6% by the last quarter of 2024. But MBA forecasts that it's gonna happen in the first quarter of 2025. So we'll see what happens. In meantime, rates are, where they are, and there are some ups and downs. If you don't feel like gambling while you're looking for property and you want to secure that rate, you might want to think of locking it.
That's exactly right. Yeah, because the prices are going up, so if the rates are going to be staying the same for a while and prices are doing nothing but increasing, it would be silly to wait if you didn't have to.
Yeah, and it could push some of buyers out of their qualified price range.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
That's true.
Yeah, that's important. So this could be, from a buyer's perspective, for the buyers that have been waiting for rates to come down so they could jump in the market. Hopefully they'll hear this and heed this time.
Yeah.
That it's still a window of opportunity, because when those rates come down, we're already seeing the multiple offers. When the rates come down, it's going to turn into 10 times the offers. So now there's an opportunity. Like, get in there now and take advantage of this, so that when the rates do come down, they can refinance if they're able to, or whatever that strategy is, but not pay so much in the bidding wars.
Yeah, that's true. And the people who still think, well, I think the prices are going to go down. It's like, okay, let's look back at the last year and a half, 2 years, where the interest rates have actually doubled, right? About doubled. And you know what? That never happened. The prices still continue to increase even during that doubling of the interest rate. So now that they're holding steady, people still have to move. This is still a really, really hot area, and the prices are definitely not going to be going down.
Yep. All right. Okay. Any other bad news about interest rates?
I think that's enough for today.
All right. Okay. Well, we've got questions for you, or need some help from you regarding first-time home buyer programs.
Yes, and I know, Tatiana, you do first-time home buyer webinars and seminars, and we kind of want to tap into your knowledge, and you give us the lowdown.
I do webinars once a month in the evening after work. So if somebody's interested, they can tap in, even if they're driving, it's webinar. You just log in and you just listen. So yeah, I do those. And
I thought you said even if you drive into the webinar, I'm like, I'm gonna do that one.
A little bit advertisements second. But yeah, so let's talk about First-time home buyers.
Yeah,
First,
just real quick plug. So anybody from our viewership,
Yeah.
all three of you, anybody who's watching that would like to attend this first time home buyer webinar,
Yeah,
let us know. We can connect you with Tatiana, make sure you guys can get into that. So
yeah, absolutely. And I love first-time home buyers. I love these people. They're full of questions. They're enthusiastic. They're a little scared, and they're just ready to learn. So
Yeah.
I love this group of people.
me too. That's you know, they're what I like the most is when we go to settlement and they're so excited and happy that they
Yeah.
got their first home, and and it's, you know, it's a big step, and they overcame that
Yeah.
fear of commitment, right? And
Yeah. Yeah.
it's very it's a great feeling. But
Yeah.
the first time home buyer, just want to say who typically is considered for first time home buyer, and definition could vary from program to program, from state to state, but typically the definition of first-time home buyer is a person who hasn't owned a property in the past 3 years.
Okay.
So that's a sometimes some programs or grants, they require a person not owning a home ever, or in some cases it's a little bit different definition, and I'll get to it in a second. So the main benefit is for first-time home buyers is low to no down payment programs.
Okay.
Grants are available,
Okay.
and possibility of lower interest rates.
Okay.
So those are the main benefits. If you're a first-time home buyer, you are within certain income bracket, you might get better interest rate than someone who is returning purchaser.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so since we are in Virginia, I want to talk about a couple of programs here in Virginia.
Okay.
And the main one is VHDA program. And VHDA program, it stands for, well, it's actually, they shorten it to VH now. It's Virginia Housing. It's a nonprofit organization with the main goal of helping first-time home buyers. And for them, definition of first-time home buyer is someone who hasn't owned a primary home in the past 3 years. So that's a big difference.
Okay.
Wow.
It means that if you have an investment property and you were renting it out for 3 years, but in the meantime, you were living with, you know, you haven't,
Yeah.
you rented something, right?
Right.
Or you lived with relatives or what have you, then you would consider a first-time home buyer for to qualify for VH. And they have a couple of different options. They have 100% financing, and they also have grant. They do have some income limits, and income limits vary depending on the program. If you're getting that plus loan with 100% financing with 2 mortgages, I'll touch base on that in a second. Or if you get a grant, so right here you can see, depending on what you're getting, depending on family size, and depending on the area you're buying, the income limits and purchase price limits are different. So it's important when to for the mortgage consultant to know your family size and your income to see if you qualify for the program. But actually, it's pretty reasonable. I think, look, $228,000 income, it's not bad at
No,
all.
that's not bad. I see this being really amazing. Like here's a great example. One of our kids who still lives at home while he's in school, we've toyed with the idea for him to go ahead and buy a small investment property while he still lives at home and gets his first job, obviously not making a ton of money. But then when he's ready to go out and buy his first primary home, this could be something that could work for a scenario like that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Exactly. That's a
like
good
that.
point. Yeah. So just a little bit about the first program that I mentioned, the Plus loan. It can be conventional or FHA, and what they do is you get one mortgage, first mortgage for, let's say, it's FHA 96.5%, but then for the second mortgage you get additional 3.5% to 5%. depending on your credit score, you can get up to 5%. Basically, you're financing 1.5%,
Yeah.
and that 5% will cover the down payment of 3.5 plus additional 1.5 closing costs.
Wow.
So ultimately, you might come to the table with as little as half of the closing cost, and that
Wow.
would be all from you. With conventional is the same concept. Is just with conventional typically you can put as little as 3% down, so your first mortgage is 97%, and then the second mortgage is either 3 or 4.5, also covering the down payment and part of the closing cost.
That's cool.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Another option VH offers is the grant. And the grant is free money. It's not a loan. There's no repayment obligation at all. There's no second lien on a house. So it's pure free money. And it varies, the amount varies depending on what program. If you're doing conventional, like I mentioned, you put 3% down in typical situation. Here they're giving you 2%. So the grant, so you will have to come up with 1% down payment only and the closing cost. If you're doing FHA, if you get an FHA loan, then they will give you 2.5%. Again, the same thing for 1% down payment from you and the closing cost.
Yeah.
Wow.
But
That's great.
it's free, and like I said, no repayment.
Yeah.
Man, it pays to be a first-time home buyer.
It really, really does. I mean, these are really incredible programs.
Yeah, so that's VHD. I didn't want it to overwhelm with all sorts of, guidelines and things
Yeah.
like that, or requirements. One program that grant, actually not a program, I want to mention is Bird Seed program, and it's for first-time home buyers only. You can get grant for up to from $5,000 to $15,000, and here is the list of requirements. You have to be in this group
Okay.
as American Indians, Indigenous, African Americans, Hispanics. So whatever is listed here, if a person belongs to this group, they could get this grant. And the property location has to be DC, Montgomery, PG County, or in Virginia, Arlington, Fairfax County, and cities of Alexandria and Falls Church. There are really no guidelines on what credit score you need to have, or income limits, or anything like that. As long as you qualify for conventional FHA loan, they're very easy to work with. Like with any grants, except for VH grant is open year round. There's no cutoff time. These grants, they do run out of funds. So you need to catch it when it's available, then it closes, then it reopens again throughout the year.
Okay.
Okay. Does it typically open January 1 of each year?
Well, not necessarily. There's really no set. I think when they get funds, and then when they run out, and then they get again. So there's really no schedule as far as I know.
Okay.
Another one for Loudoun County, for example, one grant that offers 10% of the price assistance. It's you have to pay back, and there's the schedule how you do it, but you have to reside or work in Loudoun County for a minimum of 6 months prior to applying. So that's one grant that I wanted to mention, or program. Another one that's for employees of Loudoun County government and courts and public schools. They could get assistance of $10,000. You don't have to be first-time home buyers, actually, but they do have to they cannot own another property. So that's one caveat.
Can they combine these grants and have multiple at the same time?
No, you can have only one grant.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
But this one is
unfortunately.
a grant, you don't repay this one, or this is just a program that you do have? to-
It's a program. It's
Okay.
I keep on saying grant, but it is a program. There is repayment.
Okay,
I didn't want to put it here again, just
Yeah.
if somebody's interested, exactly like it says here, Loudoun County Public School, Public Employee Homeownership Grant Program.
Mhm.
Just Google it and will come up with all the information that they need to know.
Wonderful, okay.
Mhm. One more is Prince William first time homebuyer down payment assistance, and they have to be residents of Prince William, City of Manassas or Manassas Park, or they need to work there, and the property needs to be located in there as well. And the assistance is like here it says total 23 or 33% of approved sales price. So that's pretty huge.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah, typically clients need to apply directly with the county to qualify for it, but then the bank, like I would do the main loan on the back end.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's giant.
So those are the immediate, in our immediate areas, grants
Okay.
and programs that I could think of. Um,
And so
and
basically, a first-time home buyer would want to talk to you just to see what they could and couldn't qualify for and what options they had.
exactly.
Well, and I think it's good to say, this is only a taste of the reason why your loan officer is gonna ask you for, it's basically, I've had the mortgage loan application process described to me one time as a financial enema. And it's kind of true, right? I mean, it's extensive and invasive and it's a lot, but this is why. It's because your lender's going to look and see all the different things that you qualify for and put the pieces together and say, okay, this is the best thing that we have, and these are all the other options, and you have to know you got to get in there.
Clean it out.
Yeah.
It's true. But to your point, what I wanted to mention is when clients are shopping for a mortgage and maybe they don't want to give that information, right? They don't want you to get in. But if you if you do,
You gotta let her, she's the
if
doctor, you gotta
I
let her
can
in.
tell you what you actually can have, what I can offer you, versus if I just ask you general questions and it's not an application, then my hands are tied and I have limited information, and the client like that might be just missing out.
It's true.
I've seen her hands doing this and I can't, I'm just getting up in there.
Love it up.
Sorry.
We're going deep.
Yeah, but the people are just missing out.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to provide this information.
You can do your very best with all the information,
That's
full
right.
disclosure, and that's why I think you make friends with your buyer clients a lot of times, because it's like, there's nothing I really don't know about you. I have to look at I know where you go for coffee every day. I know that they
Okay,
would know.
legal disclaimer, we always keep, your clothes will always stay on, you will never be, there's no physical violation.
I know when we were applying for our loan, I thought, man, they're gonna see that I go to ABC Liquor every week. I'm like, I'm gonna say it's client gift.
Well, anyway,
Yeah.
go pay attention to that, IRS.
The other thing I love about the first time home buyer definition is 3 years,
Yeah.
right? Because it's not just for really first time home buyers. It's also for those who, like, you get knocked down and you get up again. You're never going to keep you down, right? I mean, you can 3 years to recover from whatever you've been through, brush the dust off,
Yep.
and there you are, first time home buyer again, and you get to take advantage of so many of these programs, which is really cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
wouldn't be able to say it better than this. You're right.
This is going to be an evergreen video that will last forever.
We should play the song, I get knocked down.
That's right. You can find that one. All right. Okay, any other questions or anything?
I have nothing.
Any other analogies?
I'll work on some more.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. Well, thank you for your time. And if anybody needs to get in touch with you, how do they do it?
571-245-3000.
All right. Thank you. Have a good week.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.